The defending champion is stronger than Nuke. Losing is inevitable, so just put up your Duke.
Your vision is blurred, your speech is slurred. Go save yourself! It's Hazard!
One must wonder how many bots withdrew from the mere presence of the machine. A machine so dominant, so ruthless, and so destructive. It did take a sabbatical after Season 1 of Classic Battlebots, and the bot who won the second season is arguably the most forgotten televised champion. Fueled by margaritas, Tony Buchignani and Dan Dadnick built Hazard, equipped with a titanium wedge and an overhead steel alloy horizontal bar spinner. For its return, Hazard donned a shorter but heavier blade made of hardened S7 tool steel for Season 3 with several changes to the internals. Its reign of terror started from its debut where it had beaten its 4 opponents. This includes Total Roadkill, a future finalist, and Deadblow, a future 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Not only that, it comfortably won the crowd vote for that year's Rumble. The same season, Hazard returned. A promising newcomer built by a successful team showed up. Inertia Labs unveiled T-, a middleweight pneumatic flipper. It is a third of the weight of its super heavyweight counterpart, Toro, but it has half the flipping power. The arm operated with 3,000 pounds of force before it was upgraded for an additional 500. Just like the defending champion, it was knocking out bots with its tremendous power. However, the power of the flipper couldn't be controlled, and it frequently overturned itself. T- tends to take a few attempts to self-right, often doing somersaults. T-Rex had no issue exploiting this weakness, and prevented T- from getting their arm under. If you get knocked out by a Thwack bot, how the fuck are you gonna beat Hazard? Later on, said machine won its second nut as expected. While Inertia Labs' middleweight was immobilized in the quarterfinal battle, it would soon compete again in the Rumble. That is where both machines had their first encounter. Hazard's weapon system was already exhausted, so it sporadically worked throughout the bout. The competitors were still mainly avoiding it. T- took out Sunshine Lollibot and flipped several others. It moved out of the way of Hazard's blade, but it was still stuck in its pursuit. Fortunately, the spinner stopped, and T- tried to capitalize on it. Hazard showed it could still get under its adversary. T- accidentally backed onto Hazard's wedge, and it was given a short tour. They parted ways and fought others for the remaining duration. Even though T- won over the crowd, it still struggled against Hazard, who had a worn-down spinner. To win the Giant Nut, you would have to beat Hazard, or pray that it wasn't in the next season. However, the defending champion wanted more nuts. Despite T- having to go through qualifiers, Season 4 offered it 2 buys due to a lack of participants. It's back on TV. T- was given more trouble by its own power rather than the 2 opponents. In the round of 16, Heavy Metal Noise would give it a tough loss. At least the bot it lost to went on to become a semi-finalist before being swiftly killed by Hazard. Yes, Tony and Dan did earn another nut. For Season 5, T- sacrificed a CO2 tank and had smaller batteries to save weight. It finally implemented wheel guards. The top panel was swapped for the titanium ones. To be even safer against spinners, they gave the bot a front crumple zone. Hazard added even more side skirts. Both bots swept through to the semi-finals. It was the highly anticipated one-on-one between the two. Hazard was 17-0. What would be the game plan against Hazard? The conventional approach is focusing on using a durable wedge. 3 bots have tried this, and they failed. Total Roadkill did manage to stop the spinner, but could not get under the champion's wedge. That was still Hazard's first season. The other 2 bots would brutally beat him. Inertial Labs did look elsewhere for inspiration. When faced with a similar opponent, Dissector had an elongated jaw and a rear plow. It lifted up a skirt into Final Destiny's blade, and the rest is history. The underdog equipped a flipping arm extension with the goal of lifting one of Hazard's hinged skirts into its own blade. T- needed 1 good flip. Hazard only needed 1 good hit. The flipper failed to find an opening and narrowly avoided the spinner twice. It would have been over if T- overturned itself. However, the 3rd time truly is the charm.
Under Hazard. Yeah, he gets under a bird.
Gets under him there. Look at that. One of the skirts of Hazard. It's blocked his blade.
Without that blade, Hazard is not Hazard. And T-minus whips
That
him.
could be it.
No
That's
way.
one to the pound in the left hand.
Amazing. Alexander Rose and Reason Bradley may have done it.
May. They have done it.
Unthinkable.
Hazard. The king is dead.
Hazard had the longest winning streak until Bite Force took it. Before that happened, the captain of Bite Force, Paul Ventimiglia, did also take inspiration from the overhead spinner. Based on it, he built Green Wave and Brutality. Both of these bots were successful, the latter of which reigned in the Dark Ages. Other Roboteers picked up on the design and experimented more with it, giving us Bloodsport and Ice Wave. Tony Bucchignani's design had longevity. However, the robotic feel will keep evolving and adapt to one another. The solution isn't always more armor. Their primes and success couldn't last forever. Hardly anything lasts forever. The dominance with the design didn't, neither did the streak. T- only had one thing left to do.